Hello, everyone. My name is Stacey Amedio. I am the Promotions and Relations Coordinator for the College of Arts and Sciences here at Governor State University, and we thank you for joining us today for our information session on our graduate programs in criminal justice, political and social justice studies, and public administration for this upcoming school year. Get to the next slide. There. I do want to introduce Dr. Ermasova, who's on this call. She's going to kind of go through some of the information about our alumni, especially in our public administration program. She can introduce herself. We're going to go through these slides to give you some information about all the degrees. And then at the end, we'll have time for Q&A. So Dr. Ermasova, take it away.
Welcome to our information session. And I am full professor at Master of Public Administration program, and I am coordinator of MBA program. I am at GSU for last 12 years, and I really love this program. And you can see why. You can see we have amazing students and alumni. For example, you can see one of our alumni, he is Chief of Police in Montana Police Department. And for example, the next alumni is Mike Jones. He is Chief of Police at Batterson. And what is really great that students in our program, they usually will take master program not only in public administration, they also will be in criminal justice of program or political and social justice. They really take the best advantage. They can take classes in different programs. And here you can see Liana Telepes. She was the first female chief of police in the village of Frankfurt Police Department. And for example, yes, and that's great because here you can see that we have a lot of alumni, a lot of graduate students who work in the court of the, for example, Cook County. They work in the local government like utilities director, and also they work for nonprofit organizations and law enforcement. And we even, for example, you can see like director of nonprofit organizations. You can show the next slide. You can see we even have the students who work in U.S. Department of Homeland Security, and it's not only one Danielle who works there. Yes, we have amazing students, and in this case, in all our classes, we try to provide a lot of practical information. And now Stacey will tell you more about our criminal justice program.
Yes, thank you. So this information session really covers all three programs. So we want to give you a little bit of information about all, but realize a lot of the information we talk about kind of overlaps each other sometimes about like course delivery and things like that. But to start off with the Master's in Criminal Justice, if that is something you're interested in, that program's a 2-year program that would be as a full-time graduate student, looking at a total of 36 credit hours, and that's a thesis and project to finish off your program. The courses are offered on campus or in a hybrid format. Hybrid meaning you can do some of the coursework online, some of it will be face-to-face. Our classes that are on campus are in the evening for our graduate program, so that's good to know. Many of them will run like 7:30 to 10:20. And it will run one day a week. We know many of the people who are taking our graduate programs are going to be full-time employees as well and have to balance work and life on top of school. So having classes that are on campus only one day a week tries to give you guys that flexibility that you need. When it comes to applying to the program, we are looking for students to have a 2.75 on a 4.0 scale for the last 60 credit hours. So that's really your junior, senior year of your undergraduate program. So if you had a rough start but finished strong, realize that that's how we calculate your GPA is based off the last 60 credit hours. We're going to look for everyone to turn in a statement of interest. So this will be talking about like, why do you want to come to the graduate program? What do you hope to get out of it? How do you think it's going to help you in your professional and academic goals? We do want 3 letters of reference. Those can be personal or academic. And by personal, we mean like a professional personal. So if it is your employer or somebody who you work with in volunteer opportunities, I know sometimes people are coming back for their master's program because they have been a stay-at-home parent for a while. So they don't have a, job to write them a letter. So realize those are the kind of letters we're looking for, is people to really speak on your behalf about why you're interested in the program and your ability to do well in the program. We do have application deadlines that we would like people to hit. For fall was back in May 15th, but we usually will consider people who are applying throughout the summer. We just can't guarantee the best courses because registration for fall classes have been going on for a few months now. Additionally, if you're thinking you want to start in the new year, think of September as your deadline. And then if you want to start in the summer, try to get your application done in January. If for some reason we're on the cusp, we do offer conditional admission can be granted, which is basically, we think you can do this, but maybe your GPA wasn't exactly high enough. So if we offer conditional admission, we need you to complete 12 hours of criminal justice coursework with your grades of B's or better. And if you prove yourself in that, then we'll continue on to the program. So that's a little bit of how the admissions and application process and some highlights of the program for criminal justice. Now for political and social justice studies, which is another program we're here to talk about today. That program is also a 2-year program if you're going full-time. It has 1 more class, so it's a 39 credit hour program with a thesis and a project. Again, with the on-campus classes are hybrid, which is that mix of online on campus. You may also find some online classes as well, but we do want people to know for both criminal justice and political and social justice studies that these are not fully online programs. If nothing else, there may be some online opportunities, but I never want people to go thinking that they can, if they wait long enough or move their schedule around, that this program would be an online option. It is not. So there is on-campus components. Like criminal justice, we're looking for people to have a 2.75 for the last 60 credit hours of their studies. We're looking for, again, that personal statement of interest about why you would like to join this program. We're looking for only 1 professional or academic letter of reference to speak to why you'd be interested in the political and social justice program. And this has also application deadlines coming up here for fall, June 1st, and for spring, November 1st. But again, a lot of times we will consider late applicants to the program, but realize your class selection may be limited. So if you really want fall and it is June 5th or, later, you feel free to apply, but you may be told that either if the program is full or there's not enough class options, they may defer your application to the future semester. But definitely apply for the semester that you hope to get into. And again, like the other criminal justice program, conditional admission can be granted if they feel like you would be a good candidate for the program, and they would have you take this foundation of democracy class and a research methods course and see if you can do those with grades of B or better. And if those go well, then you're admitted into the program. So I will turn it back over to Dr. Masova to kind of give you some more highlights about public administration.
Yes, and now I will tell about Master Public Administration. We have full-time students, but of course we have a lot of part-time students because they already work in local government and they work, for example, in police department. And in this case, 2 years time frame is more for the full-time students. But when you're part-time student, you decided how many classes you will take. You can take 2 classes, you can take 3 classes, and of course you can take summer classes or not. In this case, time frame can be 2 years, can be 3 years. You will need to have 39 credit hours because you will have 33 hours of the required class, you will have elective class, and you will have practical capstone or capstone, and I will tell more about this. To apply for Master of Public Administration program, you need to write statement of personal interest, why you are interested in this program. You will need to provide two reference letters, and your application can be submitted again by May 15. But because, for example, I work in the summer, I will always look on the program and I can admit it you early if you would like. Okay, and also the most important is now we can have conditional admissions, but you will need to complete 6 hours of courses, and if you have good grade, you will be admitted in MBA program. You can show next slide. Yes, and here I just provided some examples of career for MBA graduates. You can see it can be city manager, because, for example, I teach economic analysis for public administration, public finance, seminar in budgeting, and we have a lot of practical materials. After this, you can work as urban planner, community development manager, policy analyst, program evaluator, and it's just like some of the work that you can have after you graduate from MBA program. Next slide. Yes, and MBA program, it's also, we have some classes online. We have hybrid classes. For example, our practical capstone has hybrid class. And of course, we have face-to-face classes, for example, like research methods and I think organizational behavior. I think strategic planning, they are face-to-face. But the most important, we always have evidence-based applied research. We have a lot of case studies, we write the memo, we calculate the budgets in the class. Yes, we try to give practical knowledge for our students. And here you can see to complete our program, you need to complete all required courses. You must to have B grades or better. And of course, in the end, you need to complete capstone research or practical project. Here you can see the MBA required courses. And in the end of our presentation, I will send you by email MBA handbook. And in the MBA handbook, you can see all required courses, you can see all elective courses, and you will see a lot of information about admission and all other MBA process. Yes, here you can see elected courses that you can choose because you need to take one course. And for example, you can see it can be an internship. For advanced topics in public administration, we provided different classes. And here we collaborated with political and social justice, with criminal justice. When they have very interesting classes, we collaborate with them. And you can take classes in their program too. Yes, and the most important is the final project. Here you can see the example if you will take my master's research paper. You have your idea and we will develop the research based interviews or based on surveys or secondary data, and you will work individually with faculty advisor. And the next, you can see this is like the example when the students created amazing research in their capstone. The faculty help to publish the research, and you can see it's in really top ranked journal. For example, Public Organization Review, right now it's the top ranked journal for the law in the first category. And the faculty really help the student to finish the research. And you can see the research is really interesting. It's like about stress and coping mechanism among law enforcement officers. It's, for example, about disinvestment in higher education, and, for example, about heroin epidemic, about perception of wrongful conviction. The research is really interesting, and I think it was great experience for the students. But what, for example, I created practical capstone because a lot of students told that we need more practical experience, and we created collaboration with the village of Bradley local government, and for the last 3 years they give us practical projects. For example, last semester our students created economic development for the water park. In this case, in the village of Bradley, it will be water park, and they created mechanism for economic development. And usually the students work in the team for 2 or 3 students to analyze the problem, to give the project. And can we show the next slide? And in the end, our students have the presentation in the village of Bradley for the mayor, for the board members, for the press. And what is really great, Village of Bradley use all our projects, and they use it in the real life. And last time our student created a project for 40 millions of investment. I think it's a really great experience for the students. And yes, and here you can just see some examples of our professor. For example, you can see I was Fulbright professor in the Hungary last year. That was professor in Germany. And in this case, for example, I always try to give my students opportunity to go to study abroad. For example, we had study abroad in Hungary, Austria, in Italy, in the Rome for 21 days. Yes, and we really try to give as much as possible. Yes, and now Stacy can tell.
Yeah, and so this is Dr. Janet Brewer. She is our coordinator over the criminal justice program, political and social justice studies. Some of her background, she does have a focus in law and criminology. So anybody who is interested in those graduate programs, she's going to be a great person to reach out to if you have any questions about the curriculum for those 2 programs. And Dr. Erica Cheka is one of our newest MPA faculty members, but is doing amazing work, including she is the chair of the American, I'm going to butcher this, American Society for
Public Administration.
Okay, good for me.
Yes.
Look at me. So, which is, a professional organization for MPA. And so she's the chair of that and really has brought some great experience and knowledge to our program. So we are excited for her to be with our MPA program. Dr. Mary Bruce is one of our senior faculty members who's been around for a very long time. She's also been involved with all our NASPA accreditation. And so she was our program coordinator up through this last year. And so now she's just going to be focusing on teaching again. Here is the list of kind of all our faculty members in the public administration area, but there are some that definitely overlap, like Dr. Warmington Granston teaches a lot of the political and social justice classes. Dr. Don Culverson, it does criminal justice as well. So those are some of our highlights of our faculty. Now for student advising, and Robin Mitchell is on the call. She is the academic advisor for all 3 of these programs. So if you have questions about specifically the classes and how to take them, feel free to reach out to Robin, and her information will be at the end of these slides. But everybody's assigned a professional advisor to walk them through admission, through graduation. So once you've been admitted to the program, getting you started to graduation is the job of your academic advisor, and help you plan out all the paperwork and so you don't have any missteps along the way. Now, this is the actual application link to apply for any of the 3 programs. And because you are here today, if you haven't applied already, please take a screenshot or jot down this application fee waiver code. This will save you the $50 that the graduate application does cost you. So as a thank you for your time and listening to this presentation, this is our little thank yous to try to save you a few dollars on your fee waiver. So give you another second to write that down. Also, if you're here in the live meeting, we'll put it in the chat for you. But if you're watching it as a recording, go ahead and take a screenshot or write that down. And like I said, contact information. So academic advisors, Robin, and then Jason Vignone, who's the director of graduate admissions, who's also now on this call, can help you through the admissions process if you have any questions for him. So make sure you write down those contact information. And that, is the end of our formal presentation. So if you have questions, please make sure you reach out to us, and I will go ahead and stop the recording.